Dave Meltzer, guys like that.
What the hell does Meltzer know, a little puke?
No! I really don't care what Dave Meltzer has to say.
You know, this guy Meltzer is so knowledgeable of this industry. Why has he not opened his own territory, ran his own business? Because the first thing he would do would put himself on top, make himself the champion, and everybody on the net would hate his fucking ass.
No! When did you
You should have been a booker.
What?
You should have been a booker.
Okay, all right.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know everything about it. You should have been very successful.
Not in this era.
You're the most knowledgeable person I've talked to, almost in my life. Next time Brent calls me, I'm gonna tell him to go shut up. I don't want to talk to him anymore. I'm gonna talk to Dave Meltzer.
All right.
Listen, you know, it's just impossible to talk to you.
Okay.
You're like an awful lot of people that I've known in my lifetime, and I guess that must be like some people you've known.
Yeah.
I did it, and you wish you could.
No!
Internet writers and dirt sheet guys, were they your critics?
No, I didn't care. Like I always said, if all those guys are such great wrestling minds, I mean, anybody can Monday quarterback. I just always thought that, you know, if you're so brilliant, why have you not, you know, Meltzer, why have you not booked it for a major? You know, those sheets had a lot of, you know, dud. You know, and it was every year it was like match of the year, you know, Abu Zago versus Naposeno in the Carokian Hall. Like, yeah, right. You fucking saw it when. You saw it from fucking Oakland? Fuck you.
Backbone Wrestling Network. Welcome to what show is this? Does
Number
Meltzer
6.
know best? Question mark. So I'm San Diego. No, does Meltzer know best? The number one preeminent show where we go back through Dave Meltzer, Uncle Dave's list of 5-star plus matches, and we decide whether or not Dave knew what he was talking about or if he is in fact full of shit. And with that being said, my name is Keith Langston. I am joined today by a panel of experts who know inside and out these matches here that we have watched and selected for your entertainment this week. I would like to introduce my first co-host, the man I said earlier that he's full of Schiff, the one and only Scotty Schiff. How are you, Mr. Schifflet?
I'm doing all right tonight, Keithy. You know, we're having a good time here. I'm gonna put you up like a pretzel because that's pretty much how this match that we're gonna talk about tonight was. Just gonna make you smit tonight. I'm gonna make you say uncle, make you tap,
make you say Uncle Dave,
make you say Uncle Dave. Yeah. You're right, and we'll see what happens. Or maybe you'll be making Uncle Dave tap. We'll have to see what happens. But you know, I'm glad to be doing another podcast with you, Keithy. I know this is the episode 6, but it's my 4th episode with this illustrious gang here. So I'm looking forward to more in the future and talking about tonight as well.
Man, Schiff, sound like you were teasing Keith with a good time and the pretzel and the bending and
Well, I was going to say, he can bet his bippy on this. We're going to be talking a lot about pretzels in this episode. The voice you heard, the dulcet tones of the one and only main ball buster of the Backbone Wrestling Network, Mr. Shawn Kidd. How are you, Shawnee boy?
I am good. I'm still recovering from you calling me a piece of shit on the last episode, you fucking asshole. No, I am good. Very happy to be here. I love doing this show, and I got to give Logan credit for the premise of this because I have been watching matches that I haven't seen or haven't really thought about, and it's given me new perspective on matches. So I actually look forward to this pod so I can actually watch some shit that I've never seen. So I got to give Logan mad props. So he is the backbone of the backbone. But good to be here, Keith.
Thank you, sir. Well, that is our boo, our professor, our own backbone of the backbone, Mr. Sabered out of his chair this episode, Mr. Logjam Crosland. How are you, Mr. Logjam Crosland?
I did my best Larry Land nod that he used to do on Nitro all the time from the commentary table when you gave me that compliment. I appreciate it. And yeah, pretzel is the word of the day for this match that we're about to get into. I told Keith last night that God bless him going through the play-by-play on this match because it is certainly something.
You seem to give him the hard ones, Logan. Like the last.
Hey, he picked it. He picked it.
This one.
He picked it.
I know, but the last one he did. My God, what a marathon that one was! And here we go again. So
yeah. So, but yeah, God bless him. I'll have some thoughts. I'll probably have some funny thoughts after this one's over, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, seriously, I'm the jackass that picked this one, and I think honestly it's because I didn't really want to get caught up in names, but there was the other match that we had watched had easy names anyway. This one is I had to keep going Hechicero. So good thing here. But of course, we are talking about the matchup tonight between Zack Sabre Jr., Zack Sabre Jr., and Hechicero. Now this is they had a trilogy of themselves. Actually, it's not even a trilogy though, which is funny. So there's a trilogy of these three men through New Japan, Rev Pro, and CMLL. But their first matchup, believe it or not, was on October 19th, 2018 at PWG Smokey and the Bandito.
What a name. I love that name.
Ironically enough.
So I was very interested because when you kind of looked up this classic trilogy of these two men, it's like, oh wow, they met here, and here. But yeah, their first encounter was back in 2018. But this match we're going to be talking about tonight is a best 2 out of 3 falls on June 22nd, 2024 at CMML's Sábados de Coliseo. So it's at the Arena Coliseo de Mexico City in Mexico City. And this is, as I said, a 2 out of 3 fall matchup. So we'll see here. But they actually do have their trilogy is pretty good, actually. Their second matchup is August 24th, my birthday, 2024, which was Rev Pro. And then they had the NJPW, or New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley, on January 11th, 2025. And spoiler alert, it's the rubber match. So I'm not going to give away who wins which in this contest, but that's just kind of the history between both men here. We start off now, and I apologize, as you had mentioned, as Logan had mentioned, and Schiff had mentioned, and Sean, I believe, also mentioned, pretzel's the word of the day, everybody, because it literally is. That's all it is. Logan had mentioned to me, he goes, good luck with this matchup. I don't know half the names of these friggin' moves these guys are doing.
And if I don't know what they are, then like...
Keith, I don't think they have names. I think that's the point.
I think it's just like he's just bending him in ways that the human body shouldn't bend.
Yeah, but so the opening stretch of this matchup between these two is basically what I consider a live-action chess match built entirely around limb manipulation, counters, and leverage. Neither man is trying to overpower the other, and they're trying to outthink and out-entangle each other. Sabre opens up with a wrist lock, immediately targeting control of the arm, but Hechicero, I'm going to do it all fucking night, I'm going to keep doing it.
Just do your best.
Hechicero smoothly reverses into an abdominal stretch. Sabre counters that into his own abdominal stretch, setting the tone right away. Every hold has a counter, and every counter has another escape waiting behind it. Hechicero then shifts into a unique wrist lock, and that's the best way I could explain it. It's like it drags Sabre to the match. Sabre bridges backward to relieve the pressure, showing off his flexibility and technical awareness before both men reset to a standing position, circling each other cautiously. Another lockup leads to Sabre twisting Hechicero into a human knot or a pretzel-like entanglement, but Hechicero responds by hooking Sabre's legs and rolling him into a surprise pinning combination for 2. Sabre instantly reverses that pin for his own near fall, and they scramble apart again. We have Hechicero lands a head scissor takedown into another 2 count. Sabre answers with his own head scissor of his own, wrapping his legs around Hechicero's neck while simultaneously trapping the arms. Hechicero then counters with a grapevine and grounded head scissors. Both men end up applying head scissors to each other at the same time, too, which was kind of a unique predicament there. Sabre eventually rises and twists his own body to torque Hechicero's neck at an unnatural angle before transitioning into a neck vice. Hechicero escapes by using his legs to throw Sabre down and immediately tangles him into another bizarre submission attempt that resembled what I considered it was like a grounded Texas cloverleaf almost. That's how I kind of explained it. It was funny earlier, or in the previous matchup on the previous episode, Logan, you had mentioned like it looked like you had said something like it looked like a grounded, like I forget what the move was. It was like a grounded, and I was like, that's what I was kind of saying. I was like, it was like a weird move, and like I didn't know what to call it, so I did that. Sabre then struggles and squirms across the canvas before finally reversing the pressure into his own Texas cloverleaf variation. He transitions upward into something resembled a standing STF before cinching in a hybrid STF facelock submission hold. Hechicero keeps matching him move for move, repeatedly knotting Sabre's arms and legs into elaborate traps and rolling him into a strange pinning predicament that looked halfway between like a small package and some kind of a lucha counter hold. But the rope break finally forces a separation between both men. At that point, Sabre bails out to the floor, needing a powder, and comes back in as Hechicero plays to the crowd. Sabre casually walks over to the audience and he steals like a beer from a fan, and then he drinks it, which I thought was awesome. I thought that was really funny. I'm assuming it was a beer. It could have been a water, but I bet you it was a cerveza. But once back inside, Sabre regains control with a standing surfboard crucifix variation, which is what it looked like to me, wrenching Hechicero backwards and trapping his arm. And then that's when Hechicero submits, which is for the first fall. I didn't get a time on it because I was too busy kind of trying to take my notes on this, but I would say it was kind of
it was 8 minutes.
Yeah, I figured it was like 8 minutes into this. So like 8 minutes in, we get the first fall. Zack Sabre Jr. gets a submission hold, and as I said, it was like kind of like that weird surfboard style crucifix hold. I know the last match I think I reviewed I think it was a multi 2 out of 3. So I'll stop here and let you guys kind of give some of your thoughts on this. So whatever you guys think. I'll start with Logan. What do you think of this fall?
Yeah, I mean, the first fall, they really established at the beginning that they're quickly trying to prove which one of them is the best technical wrestler, which one's the technical master. They trade holds back and forth and back and forth. It's really kind of insane, some of the shit Sabre can do, like the way he can contort his body, the way he gets into some of these moves and in and out of some of them as well. But yeah, he's just a technical wizard. All the shit that he can do is just incredible. I don't, outside of AEW, I don't have much, experience with Hechicero. I think he's been pretty good in the spots in AEW that I've seen him. He's one of the 50 members of the Don Callis family, so he kind of gets hidden behind a few guys in that group. So, but I do think he's absolutely very good. And he shows that he's, more than capable of hanging with Sabre here in this first fall. I did love that Sabre bailed to the outside to take the swig of the probably beer, maybe water, maybe soda. We'll never know, I guess. But yeah, I kind of called the fall we got the fall kind of an octopus stretch, is kind of like something kind of like what AJ Lee does, kind of that widow's peak.
Oh yeah, it did kind of look almost like it does kind of.
It's a little like that, a little different, but it's kind of just like an octopus stretch is kind of what I would call it. But what you call it was more than.
God damn it, Logan! That was my
perfectly descriptive.
The octopus submission. That's what I call it.
Well, because I said the way he puts it on is it's kind of like a surfboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then but Hechicero was standing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, it was kind of weird, and then it was like that weird thing. But yeah, the octopus thing or a Black Widow almost would make sense. Yeah,
but yeah, I thought the first fall was really good, and this type of wrestling is kind of over my head. I'll get more into that later, but
all right, cool,
just kind of crazy.
All right, since he interrupted with his own opinion here, Sean, what do you think?
So Zack Sabre should write the Sabre Sutra, because this guy is freaking out of control. So the opening stretch, of this match is like from a technical. I mean, Logan, a lot of what I felt you said, I'm probably going to say again for the most part. The technical standpoint of this whole match with this first fall is nuts. I have yet to see a Zack Sabre Jr. match where I'm not blown away by the level of technical wrestling this guy could do and submission work and just the creativity. Like to do it on the spot, like they can't call those spots. So for me, it's like Jesus Christ. He has to be. And Logan, I don't know about you, but he's got to be the best technical submission wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Like literally.
Yeah.
So everything he does feels different. He doesn't just ply holes. He twists them into like freaking pretzels, like we brought up, at angles that don't seem even humanly possible. I'm like Logan with I hope I was going to pronounce. I was going to say Hechicero, but it's Hechicero, because he absolutely keeps up with Sabre. Yeah.
It's the mini version of Hechicero.
Right. He absolutely keeps up with Sabre, and I like Logan said, I've seen him in AEW, but I've never really latched on to him because he's more of a side player for the Don Callis family. So Logan, you and I had very similar thoughts. But yeah, watching this match, so you immediately see he has it, the technical skills. Not only are submissions impressive, but again, the creativity is great. Again, the opening moments are insane. The reversals of counters, into counters, the way they constantly are escaping, trapping each other, and what their guys doing. It's like next level shit. Sabre especially is just mesmerizing to watch. When Logan says it's above his head, I call it mesmerizing. And so I kind of am in the same boat. I don't know if it's above my head, but I'm just like, I'm mesmerized, like the shit he can do. So, and then the octopus hold you brought up. But then but here's where it gets fishy for me. The finish for me, the first fall, came completely out of nowhere and kind of fell flat for me because there wasn't really any like build up to it, which is fine. And it's just over, but there's no dramatic build up, no giant finishing sequence. He just kind of catches them, traps them, and he wins. So I'm not sure if I like that or not. But even the crowd was confused because they didn't really react to it. So I don't know. It almost makes me realize the second fall is done, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. So the craziest part, like we said, is all this happened in 8 minutes. So it's already one fall. And it just, I can't, like, I'm with Logan. I think I'm in the same brain space as Logan. It's like, I don't know how I feel. So
I want to say he felt trapped, so he kind of tapped because he knew it was 2 out of 3 falls, so he kind of like wanted to preserve himself. So maybe it was kind of out of nowhere, but I think it was.
But it's not the only one that was out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's my point about this match. So that's what that we'll talk about that later, though. So
well, if there is one person that knows how they feel on matches, I would say it's our next man, Mr. Shiflett. What are your thoughts on this fall?
So yeah, I seen the submission moves just go back and forth was pretty dope. Like it's a change of pace considering like how we dealt with like there's not that much like quote unquote like strikes. It's just like submission and then fighting their way out, which I thought was pretty cool. And I agree with Logan. Like the reason why he tapped is because it's 2 out of 3 falls. You don't want to fight it and then give up. So it's like I could see both parts of it, but I go with Logan with that because like if he fights, that's just dumb because he's just wasting energy. If he's locked in and he's screwed, so then just tap. But I just like how they traded submissions back and forth, which I didn't really think I would enjoy. I just love them. It's like a chess match. This is like a human chess match, as Sean's favorite Larry Z used to say on commentary. So I figured he would enjoy that. But
no, I did. Yeah. That's my point. I did. It just was so much to like take in. Like I love limb work more than anybody in the world, but this was just so much, and I'm just mesmerized is a good statement. That's what I'm trying to say. Zack Sabre Jr. mesmerizes me, and I can't figure out how he does what he does.
Take it easy. All right.
Shut up, Keith.
This is the Chad Campbell classic when it comes to limb work. So
right. Yes.
Well, with that being said, we'll get to the second fall. The pace briefly slows while the crowd gets a replay of the first fall submission. Hechicero stays outside the ring for a moment, regrouping after being forced to tap, while Sabre Jr. waits confidently inside. Once Hechicero re-enters, Sabre immediately goes back to what won him the first fall, attacking the limbs. The moment they lock up, Sabre isolates Hechicero's left arm with a series of arm ringers and drags him down to the mat. From there, Sabre stomps directly onto the elbow joint, targeting the arm with clinical precision. Sabre transitions smoothly into another armbar variation, using his legs to lace around Hechicero's trapped arm and pull backwards onto the elbow, creating brutal torque. It's less about flashy offense and more about dismantling Hechicero piece by piece. The assault continues as Sabre traps him in another grounded submission that resembles a surfboard applied on the mat. From there, he shifts again into a twisting hold that looks almost like a grounded sharpshooter variation. Sabre laying back while forcing Hechicero upward onto his knees, bending the spine and the legs awkwardly at the same time. Eventually, both men fight back to their feet, where Sabre changes tactics and starts throwing European uppercuts that look brutal. He backs Hechicero into a corner with repeated strikes before sending him across the ring with an Irish whip. This becomes the turning point. Hechicero reverses the Irish whip into the opposite corner and charges with a splash, finally creating an opening after spending most of the round defending himself. The momentum instantly shifts. Rather than following his strikes, Hechicero goes right back to his own specialty, an intricate submission and body entanglements. He traps Sabre in a brutal leg vice submission, wrapping up Sabre's lower body and twisting him into another one of his signature impossible-looking knots. Unlike the first fall, Sabre can't counter his way out of this, and then he taps out as well to a submission of a leg vice submission hold or whatever. And now we're both tied at one fall apiece heading into the third fall. So with that being said, anything any of you would like to add? I'll let it be like a free-for-all. Feel free to go ahead and give your thoughts on the second fall.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed the move that Zack tapped out in. Like, I don't even know what it was. I just said that move that Zack tapped out for fall 2 was insane. He got him wrapped up. It was just ridiculous, like an anaconda, pretty much. But yeah, like just more the same. Like these guys are just like trading these moves back and forth. Like it's pretty awesome. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but it's like, all right, maybe we should do some other things, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
I'll jump in there. So I love the arm work. Again, limb work, but I love the arm work that Sabre did.
Yeah, but so you love arm work, Sean, but also you want some mouth work too sometimes. Like that's not
I get it, but here what is. But what I liked is like Hechicero would try to keep getting out and create an opening, but Zack would keep countering and get right back to what he was doing with the arm. So I get you. I'm wanting something different. I don't doubt it, but even you get some intermixing of the uppercuts Keith brought up. And then Hechicero caught him coming in. He blasted him with a knee in the opposite corner, and then it looked like, and then he got that submission on Zack. This is where I said it looked like he folded Zack up like a pretzel, and then Zack tapped. But again, very sudden, very out of the blue. And we're only 15 minutes into this match, so we've had 2 falls in 15 minutes. And again, both out of the blue have surprised me, and that's what I'm trying to struggle with. It's like I'm okay with them being out of the blue, but even the crowd doesn't know how to react. And sometimes without that crowd reaction, I don't think it hits as hard because they're quiet, because they're also caught off guard by it. It's just interesting. But I still like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying what I'm watching, just like you are, Chef. So,
yeah, say like we've kind of said, Sabre kind of controlled most of this fall, and Hechicero kind of comes back at the end. We do get some strikes in this one. That's kind of a difference between that fall, or the first fall and this fall. We do get some of those European uppercuts in the knees. They do lay the stuff in when they do the strikes, but obviously it's mostly about the holds and the contorting of the body. I mean, the move that Hechicero does to finish this fall is absolutely insane. He bends every joint in his body all at once somehow, and he makes it down. Absolutely no escape was possible for the move that he had, because he had his arms trapped and he had his legs trapped all at the same time. So just an absolutely insane move. I'm sure it has a name. I do not know what that is. But yeah, the second fall, just some really another really good wrestling fall. We do mix in a couple of strikes, kind of like we said. But yeah, Hechicero ties things up, and we head to a third fall. Then we'll see how it goes.
Well, thank you, Logan. Thank you, Schiff, and thank you, Sean. So now, with both men having obtained one fall via submission, how do we think the third fall is going to end? With the match tied at one fall apiece, the third and deciding fall between both becomes even more frantic and unpredictable. Up to this point, both falls have ended via submission, but the final stretch evolves into a war of counters, pinning combinations, and exhaustion. The fall opens with both men immediately returning to the mat game, constantly fighting for leverage with quick submissions and flash pin attempts. Neither man can maintain control for long before the other reverses momentum. A backslide-style test of strength leads Sabre rolling Hechicero down for a quick 2 count. They spring back up, but Hechicero answers with a shoulder block and immediately begins tangling Sabre's arms with his legs again, dragging him into another rolling pitting predicament. Both men continually stumble across the canvas, reversing one another in rapid succession. Hechicero nearly lands what looks like a reverse unprettier style setup, as I kind of thought it was like an unprettier. But Sabre counters with one of his own trademark technical reversals using his legs underneath Hechicero's arms, rolling him over while bridging backwards into a pinning combination. I don't know how the hell to explain that other than I just did. That was like the best way I could explain it. From there, we get a dizzying sequence where Sabre attempts another rollover cradle. Hechicero flips out. Sabre counters again. He counters the counter. Hechicero reverses again. Both men repeatedly exchanging near falls, rolling through 4 or 5 consecutive pin attempts without either man staying down. Finally creating some kind of separation, Sabre cracks Hechicero with a stiff kick to the face and pauses briefly to recover. He follows with another hard kick to the chest and jaw area, that kind of familiar yes-style strikes that Daniel Bryan is known for, or Bryan Danielson is known for. But when Sabre throws another one after Hechicero asks for it, he catches the leg and instantly twists him to a vicious head and neck scissor vice. Sabre refuses to submit and eventually escapes, countering it into an STF-style submission on his own. The two continue cycling through increasingly painful-looking holds. Head vices, arm traps, neck cranks, surfboards, leg entanglements, finger manipulation from Sabre, who repeatedly bends and pulls apart Hechicero's digits. That he had been doing throughout the course of the match, I forgot to mention beforehand. Once the most impressive sequence comes with Hechicero applies a full traditional surfboard, lifting Sabre completely off the mat. He then transitions into a test of strength while still maintaining the hold, but Sabre then flips through and immediately traps the arms again on the mat. Sabre continues targeting the limbs relentlessly, at one point applying a grounded one-leg Boston Crab variation while simultaneously trapping Hechicero's arms with his legs for another pinning predicament. Hechicero barely reaches the ropes to survive. The match starts to slow down and becomes more strike-heavy, with Sabre repeatedly landing kicks to the face. He follows up with some more European uppercuts. Hechicero fights back with some massive chops to the chest. Both men are standing toe-to-toe, exchanging forearms, uppercuts, and chops to each other. The physicality escalates further when Hechicero chokes Sabre across the top rope during a running rope exchange before dragging him back into the ring with a reverse hammerlock. He kicks Sabre repeatedly in the head and then climbs to the top rope for a diving clothesline attempt. But Sabre catches him midair and then gets him into yet another armbar. Even then, Hechicero survives, reversing the pressure before Sabre transitions again into another arm vice. Hechicero desperately reaches the rope for the break. Both men are exhausted, barely able to stand. Sabre resumes catching Hechicero in the chest and runs the ropes looking for another strike. But Hechicero suddenly counters with a tilt-a-whirl into a backbreaker for a dramatic 2 count. The final stretch becomes one last desperate scramble of counters and cradles. Legs and arms become tangled repeatedly as each man attempts to trap each other in flash pins. Neither competitor can hold the advantage for more than 1 second. Finally, in the middle of a rapid reversal exchange, Hechicero catches Sabre in a clean victory roll style cradle and holds him down long enough for the referee to count 3. So the third fall, Hechicero defeats Sabre by pinfall victory. And that's the end of that matchup. And that was about what, like 19 and change, I think, was the match altogether?
Yeah, the video was like 25, 28.
Yeah,
something like
but
that.
I think on Cage Match, I think it said it was like 19 and change.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it was probably right around 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yep. So, what did you guys think of this matchup? I'm going to start with Schiff this time around.
Damn it. So, I do think that when Zach had Hechicero in like the 2 armbar, like he had him like his leg, he had his legs wrapped around one arm, and then he had him like in another arm. I really thought that was going to be the finish. Like I would have tapped like 3 seconds in. It looked extremely painful. Just a lot of joint manipulation going on there. But like it was just insane. Like I really thought, and then like we get a swinging backbreaker hit on Zack, which is like one of the biggest moves that's hit in the match. Not only gets a 2, and like I wrote like that's so impactful because of what's been happening with just them trading the submission moves. But the ending pissed me off. He gets his foot on the ropes. After all that, he fucking cheats to win. And it just looked really out of position. I'm still like, I think I'm not the biggest submission guy, so that's probably going against me. But like, I'm still like blown away by how like much they used it, and I was really intrigued by it. But I don't think it's a 5-star match. I think it's like 4.25, 4.5 maybe. But yeah, that's where I'm going with it. Like, it's still a fun match to watch. Like, I liked all the submissions and stuff, but like, it just needs a little bit more sizzle for me personally. Okay, I'll probably catch hell on it, which whatever.
Yeah, let's go with Logan now, because Logan, I feel like is a good voice of reason here. So, Logan, what do you think?
You're absolutely all right. Yeah, this isn't my particularly type of wrestling per se. I would say either. But, you know, we talked about in the first fall how it kind of comes out of nowhere. The second fall, kind of the same. But they're trying to present themselves because they know this is a 3-fall. We get like an awesome swinging hammerlock backbreaker that Hechicero hits at one point that I thought was great. And then, yeah, at the end, obviously, Hechicero reverses the sunset flip and uses the ropes as leverage to pin. I actually, you know, you mentioned that they had kind of a series of matches at one point. Or they have had matches at this point already, and I think I read that was a callback to their first match that Sabre actually had won, and it was a kind of a flash pin as well. I don't know that he cheated, but it was kind of a pinfall out of nowhere in their first match. So yeah, you could tell that they were a little bit more desperate in this third fall to kind of get this pinfalls, because there were a lot more pinfall attempts as well. In this one, they were desperate to kind of get the victory at that point, because they knew that this was the fall that was going to ultimately decide things. And obviously, Hechicero gets desperate enough to where he ends up having to cheat a little bit to get the win. So, and then, you know, we have, I don't know if we want to go too much into the aftermath, but they obviously have a conversation. They speak in Spanish, so obviously I don't think any of us are eloquent enough to speak, understand Spanish all that well. But I believe Sabre was basically challenging him to the match that they have at the Battle in the Valley that you mentioned earlier as well. But yeah, just because it's not my kind of style of wrestling per se, I wouldn't quite go 5 stars on it. I do think it's kind of in that 4.5 type situation that kind of Schiff mentioned. Part of me is like so dumbfounded by most of the stuff that happened in this match that I kind of want to go 5 stars, just because I feel like I'm not smart enough to understand this type of wrestling, just because it's so intricate and amazing how they can get in and out of these things. But just purely based on the fact that it's just not necessarily my type of wrestling. I do appreciate it. I did really enjoy the match, but it's not quite 5 stars for me either. So.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English. Nice. I mean, sure. I don't put yourself down and say you're not smart enough to understand what's going on. I don't like that.
This is for the real wrestling masters. This one is. So.
I feel like between the 4 of us, we're all very wrestling educated. So I think we can go with this. But we'll go with the one who's clearly the most educated out of all of us. Mr. Kidd, what are your thoughts on this?
All right, so I would think that you guys would watch this and would say, "Man, my God, Sean's probably gonna, milk his pants on this one." Here's the thing: I will tell you, milk my pants. The third fall for me was my favorite up until the end, and Schiff brought it up because I hated the ending too. I didn't like the fact that he put his foot on the rope for the win. But what I will tell you is, when it comes to some of the finest technical shit you're ever going to see in this third fall, with the counters, the transitions, both guys constantly escaping and reversing the submissions and pin attempts. The fun side spot in this that none of you mentioned. Did you see how many times the ref almost flipped himself over trying to count these pins? Like, literally, he would fall down.
He was very out of shape.
I know, but literally he would count two, and it looked like he was gonna freaking flip himself over while he was counting. So that popped me. Like you should go back and watch it just for that because it was very entertaining. Tommy Young got nothing on this dude. But anyway, I just thought it was very, very good. And so I enjoyed the third fall until the end. In the end, I didn't like how it went down. I thought, getting Zack went for the sunset flip, and then there was a counter, and then he put his foot on the rope to win, and he stole the victory. All said, I will say this very confidently after watching this match. Zack Sabre, and I've watched enough of him now, Zack Sabre Jr. has to be the best technical wrestler on the entire planet. And again, it stuns me that he's never really been planted long-term in a major promotion because almost every match I watch from him completely entertains me. Whether I should or not, whether I'm confused or not, I'm just mesmerized, right? So, but anyway, I'm with you guys. I think the ending did me in a little bit. I think some of the endings and how sudden they were was okay, but the crowd reactions took me down a little bit. And I think I probably would have, as much as I love limb work and I love technical wrestling, I would have liked a little bit more meshed in. So I think we're all on the same page. I'm at 4.25, 4.5, just like everybody else. Not a 5-star match.
Excellent. Well, the only thing I will say is Schiff had mentioned it, I think during the last fall, he's like, I really would like to see, is there anything else, guys? And that's kind of how I felt going into this at the end of this matchup, where I just felt like it was like, okay, we get it. We get it. You guys are the masters of limb work and everything. I did like that the end, I did like that the third fall was a lot more pinning combinations and pinning attempts because it said, okay, this is a little something different. So I kind of like that, but I would agree with all three of you. Actually, I don't think this is a 5-star match as much as enjoyable as it is. It is a little slow too, kind of at the very, very beginning where it's just, they're just, and I know that sounds crazy because they're doing limb work and flipping around, but it's not it's joint manipulation and that kind of stuff can go a little bit long, but I did like it overall. I think this is an excellent match. I think everybody should go and check this out. It does make me want to watch a lot more of both of these guys as well. So I'm thankful that we're doing this. Again, Logan, thank you for coming up with this project because this is just giving us opportunities to see stuff we may not normally see. So, but I will agree with everybody here. I think, unfortunately, Uncle Dave, I don't think he got it right.
I would agree. So again, pulling back the curtain, we record 2 of these. He was 0 for 2 for us on these 2 episodes.
So once again, we were all unanimous. And like we said, kind of with the last episode, it's not that it's not a great match. I mean, we went. I think all of us went over 4. I think, right? I mean, we all went over 4. So again, it's not a 5-star match. It's a 4+. So definitely check it out.
100%.
And I think with that episode, with that final notice here, we're going to wrap it up for this one. We'll do some plugs. Let's say, Shiffy Boy, what do you got to plug here, buddy?
You can catch me here on the Backbone. So if you're subbed here, you'll catch me. But I'm on YouTube Roulette, which is Mystery Science Theater 3000 with us watching wrestling or not watching wrestling. Highway to the Impact Zone, which is TNA 2008. Said it right that time, Logan.
There you go.
You can also catch me on Are You Smarter Than Vince Russo's WCW. We are almost at Great American Bash or already past it, depending on when this drops. I will also say my favorite pods here, besides all of them, of course, but there's some that are apple of my eyes, and that is the Cross Up. Logan watches wrestling, so we don't have to, which I'm trying to use for him to use as his slogan. And also Keithy and Logan watch Arrow. I know it's We Watch Comics, but right now they're just watching Arrow.
It's Arrow, row your boat, actually.
Yeah, row your boat.
I did say that, yes. But yeah, just that's a fun show. They do pretty good reviews. Makes me want to rewatch the show, which I just watched seasons 1 through 2.5 because season 3 got kind of crappy. But yeah,
Thanks.
But check that out. That's on Pluto right now. So Papaya Pluto, you can watch it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go ahead and check that out. Sean, what do you have to plug?
Nothing. I'm gonna let Keith plug them all.
Oh, good. Well, I will say that
So he's just trying to plug GFL Live, basically. Is what you're saying.
I am. Yeah.
That's
Just
all he
listen
ever
up.
plugs. Yeah.
The one thing I will say that you should definitely do is if you're on Instagram, you should go to Schiff Reads, one of the premier Instagram feeds of our own dear Scott Shiflett, who reads books, comics, everything else, graphic novels, and then tells us what he thinks of them. So, right?
Thank you, Keith. Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Should translate that into
I'm reading Last Contract to Isco right now. So, yes.
Oh nice.
Pretty cool. It's a samurai futuristic book.
Oh, ooh, even better. Futuristic samurai book. So check that out on Schiff Reads on Instagram. But if you're listening to the Backbone Wrestling Network, you will hear Hands of Z and the Shit Takes. Those are the two shows that I do with one Shawn Kidd, where we watch matches of Larry Zbyszko and Rugged Ronnie Garvin amongst our 0.5 episodes, which are some of the better ones I think that we do, where we end up watching like themed episodes where, you know, we'll watch like Hulk Hogan episode matches, or we'll watch Before They Were Stars, things like that. So it's usually a theme that Shawn comes up with. You can also hear me on GFA Live with PD Winson, but then on the Backbone, you can also hear me on Clash of the Champ Bones and the movie Education of Logan Crosland, where Logan and I watch a movie every month, and hopefully I'll get back to getting some bangers for him to watch. The last few ones I think have been a little bit of some duck farts maybe, but whatever the case.
Turds.
Duck fats.
Like a duck fat kid. And then on YouTube, you have Can Keithy Take the Heat, where I cook recipes in my small kitchen, and then Take Me Home Keithy Rhodes with where I interview some independent wrestlers. The last episode was what was his name? Tristan Pureheart, or no, Tristan
Everfresh.
Tristan Everfresh. It was actually Angel Pureheart, who is one of the up and coming stars in the southwestern part of the country. But he is available no matter where you book. And actually, as I kind of said at the end of the show, I said he's available to where he'll wrestle anywhere in the country. All you got to do is buy him a first class flight ticket. So
I'm not trying to insult the guy at all. I just legit couldn't remember his name.
It was just you were just busting my balls.
Cut a promo on Will Ospreay, which was very offensive.
He did cut a promo on Will Ospreay. He did, because he's a classic wrestler, and he's definitely in the vein of like somebody that Shawn would love, because he's really into like mat work and limb work, and he's like those flippy floppy dickheads aren't really that good. So
that's exactly what that's pretty interesting.
It was awesome, actually. He was a really fun interview to talk to. So, and the kid's only 19 years old, so he's going to definitely be Tristan Everhart will definitely be or Everfresh will definitely be a name one day in the annals of wrestling legendary. So.
Everfresh.
But I guess we'll say, Logan, what would you like to finally plug?
Just check out everything that everybody else had mentioned already. Thank you, Schiff, for the cross-up hype. You are my number one fan, so I always appreciate when you put me over. But I don't think Schiff mentioned our other pod that we do together, Vince Russo's WCW. Are You Smarter Than That? We are almost, at this point we might be at Great American Bash 2000, but it has been what feels like a 6-month build to get there. We have been on Nitro and Thunder for quite a while at this point.
That Bill Goldberg heel turn is something.
Looking forward to talking about that when we get to it, but it has been a hell of a build, so I'm glad we're finally almost there. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But check out Highway to the Impact Zone, Movie Education, Arrow to the Future, Arrow Row Your Boat, whatever you want to call it, YouTube Roulette, and continue to check us out here on the Meltzer Pod, because we're having a lot of fun with it.
Thank you, Logan. And lastly, I would just say also you can listen to, we have a great show on the Backbone as well, New Gen on a Mission. That's one of the shows that none of us do that. So that's definitely a show you should listen to. That's Tim Slomka and
Jessica Pratt.
Yeah, that's right. So listen to them, because that's a great show as well. And that's all about the new generation of the WWE, or WWF, we'll even say. And then I would like to say, please listen to Talkin' Docs, which Logan is on with Cowboy and Jenny on the Jenny Position on North-South Connection. And anything that Jenny Position does, listen to. So she has the Exposition that I will show up on every once in a while, where her and Tim Capel do that. And also when Jenny coming around October, you'll be able to hear Bodie, Freak Out Drive-In. That a lot of us do that with Jenny, which is great. So, please listen to everything that she does, everything that they do on, I would like to say also for our good friend Justin, I love his No Holds Barred that he does with Aaron, and also War that he does with Marcus. Those are two great shows on the North-South Connection Podcast Network as well. And that's about it, I think, for us. We're going to wrap it up here. So thank you all for listening. And I guess we could say that this episode, Meltzer did not know best.
Stacking stars like snapshots, old tapes on the floor, tiny desks, big opinions, turning why into more. Every match, every minute, he's rewinding the frame from a busted high school bleacher to a household name. 5-star Dave, call it how you see it. Turn that page, history you read it. Talk that talk, make the whole room lean in. Yeah, we lean. 5-star Dave, say it, you believe it. Raise that grade, love it or you leave it. Thumbs in the air for the man who means it. 5-star Dave. Old school spiral notebook, scribbled thoughts in the margins.